In April 2025, the National Association of Nigerian Students raised an alarm about the possible fraud associated with the federal government student loan scheme. They referenced the report by the Community Orientation and Mobilization Officers of the National Orientation Agency that some institutions were conspiring with banks to shortchange students by deliberately delaying payments to successful student applications for financial benefits. Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NELFUND, was established on April 12, 2024, when the Student Loans Act was signed into law by President Bola Tinubu. In the 1 year since it was established, it has received over 203 billion and disbursed 44 billion naira to 299 institutions, benefiting almost 300,000 students. On the back of NANS allegation and supported by a petition from NELFUND, the ICPC initiated an investigation to get to the roots of it. From media reports, the following can be established. Many institutions benefited from disbursement delays from NELFUND. This resulted in double payments of tuition. Students were not informed, their student accounts were not credited, nor were refunds processed automatically. 2. Institutions charging processing fees. According to the Punch newspapers, 51 tertiary institutions illegally deducted between 3,005 and 30,000 naira from students' fees disbursed. In some cases, the institutions hiked the amount advised to NELFUND as tuition in order to pocket the difference. In one particular case, for a school fees of 55,000, the school uploaded 120,000 to the NELFUND portal. There's no better name to call this than the Nigerian Education Loan Fraud, committed by institutions of higher learning, which should model the highest ethical behavior to their students and the larger society. A scheme meant to benefit the less privileged, so everyone gets a fair chance at quality education, was somehow capitalized to defraud the government, the students, and taxpayers. While we hope that ICPC will not relent in its investigations, it's important to call on NELFUND to plug the loopholes in its system. They can help by fast-tracking the processing and disbursements of loans. Some students reported disbursements after graduation. This shouldn't be. NELFUND must not become NELFraud.
It has become NELFraud now. Barely a year after it was established. Yes. It's already a fraud. Why are we having these situations where something that is meant to, is the same situation when there was free education, or when free education is offered and it's supposed to benefit the less privileged. You have people with money carrying their children and putting there. When we look to leadership, sometimes, all of the time, we have to look at ourselves because, like I always say, before they will say heroes past, these people don't drop from the sky. You are meant to help. Government has provided these funds to help so that those who cannot afford it can get some sort of softness in their bid to acquire education. But you, the institution, who is asking you to charge processing fee? And why are the funds not going directly to the students? When you say fund, are they not going to repay?
Yeah,
so you're not getting the money. How are you going to pay for something you didn't get? And how are you going to pay for something that is coming after the whole process has already gone through? The thing about Nigeria is it's always a knee-jerk reaction. We don't put enough in place to make sure that these things don't occur. But of course, it's a human element and it's just pure greed and evil hearts at work. That's all I have to say.
Absolutely. I mean, the tragedy of this story, it's in the fact that it's happening at a higher institution, and it's these institutions that are committing the fraud. Like you said in your advocacy, you should hold universities to their highest ethical standards. And it's just really, really sad that the universities are acting like roadside touts, because this is extortion, this is agberoism. I mean, charging 3,500, 30,000, you know, being street smart in quote by, you know, just trying to grab something from NELFUND. On paper, it's a brilliant initiative by the government. LC said the other time that, I mean, since they took away full subsidy, what are we really gaining as Nigerians? I mean, as Lagosians, you even have to pay to enjoy nature, to go to the beach. That's a conversation for another day. Yeah, but I mean, back to this NELFUND issue. It's just, it's really sad. They need to, didn't they think this policy through and simulate and look at areas that they might be lacking potential for fraud, knowing the sort of environment they're operating in. And the reason why this happened in the first place is because of a culture of impunity and not punishing bad behavior.
Consequences.
Because if you have sent people to jail in the past, they would rethink it.
Stands to
I
reason.
mean, the quality, the standard, which is quite sad, of Nigerian correctional facilities should scare anyone from committing fraud in this country.
Does NELFUND itself, take some of this responsibility?
Okay, I would like to say that it's quite sad that Nigerians will seek every opportunity to exploit the vulnerable.
Yes.
Because why is a scheme designed to provide accessible education to the everyday Nigerians become an avenue for fraud? NELFUND is new, and with all new schemes, they will have their teething period, which I believe they're having now. I really love the idea of NELFUND. I'm trying not to call it NELFUND. Because it's
call it what it is.
It is really the NELFUND that is in my head, but I'm trying really hard to call it NELFUND. It's a grand idea, and it's something that will impact a lot of people's lives, particularly the people at the bottom of the pyramid. So yes, NELFUND also needs to take responsibility, because if they had like a pilot, they would, again, impact assessments, check out for all the possible loopholes. There's no reason why NELFUND cannot be integrated directly into the school's payment portal.
Sure.
I mean, you can have the option pay with NELFUND as you're trying to pay your school fees, because school fees are paid online now these days. And there is no reason why NELFUND cannot send an automated email to students, confirm how much your school is billing you for. Simple automated email.
Automation will not work. Money has to be stolen.
It's crazy. We all need to do better.
We now have to be the one confirming university school fees.
At this point, we have to do whatever it is we can to make things work.
And kudos to NANS for bringing this to
for naming and shaming.
Yes.
Well, okay. Kudos to them.
You don't believe it?
I would say that this corruption we are trying to fight in this country is looking like a battle that cannot be won.
A battle against principalities.
So I'll take us back a bit. When President Buhari was running, right, his campaign was fighting corruption, right? A lot of people keyed into it, to be very honest.
I didn't.
A lot of people did. I honestly didn't, actually, because I sort of have access to a bit of history, right? But yes, a lot of people did. And when he won, people were so happy. People were happy. People ran into the streets and all that. But when he left office...
Some people were happy. Please, don't put me in the mood.
Okay.
You were expecting a throwback of the 83 to 85.
Our corruption index became worse by the time he left.
LCC.
Yes.
Enters President Tinubu, right? He also said he is coming to fight corruption. In fact...
Did he?
Yes. If you read his manifestos, it's part. Even in fact, okay, if you say he did not, last 4 months he had a presidential media chat, right? And I'm quoting him when he says, "Effective way to fight corruption is to block loopholes."
That's it.
Yep.
He said this. I mean, you can Google it. Just 4 months ago, right?
Did the FCC listen to this? Because they are
this is our CNC.
They are watching Instagram now and looking for the next part.
Right, and this is what he said. And sometimes when he speaks about these things, he speaks from a place of confidence. And you think that this person knows what he wants to do. I remember some of his supporters then said, this is a man who knows how to put the right person in the right place. Square peg in square hole, right?
Remember chasing.
But this is, at least every other one, let's say that you are trying to flush the system is a lot of work. This is your baby. You signed this into law. You set this up. CBN is involved. It is under your nose. Please, why are we having this conversation?
You will protect it and make sure it succeeds.
And when I saw the news, honestly, I was laughing. Because why are you telling me that a sector, an organization that you set up that's not up to 2 years, have moved 70-something billion?
It's 1 year.
Right? And I mean, Zuma is already giving you technological solutions.
Free consultation.
You know, we have tech people who understand this thing. We have people you can reach out to. My problem is, this thing we are saying who is in charge. CBN is a very huge part of NELFUND. Remember when they said, oh, even the directors are coming in, there's somebody that their job is to ensure that the student loans, the money that are coming in are channeled. You have this type of people. And again, going back to Nigerians, you have this type of people, and we're having this conversation now. The disappointment is just too loud.
The violin.
And I don't know if there is a hope anymore in solving this, because you said, according to you, effective way to fight corruption is to block loopholes. Why couldn't they block loopholes in NELFUND?
We speak of remedies and solutions. However, the situation is there when the guardians become the looters.
Oh, shit. Now, wow, Yinka, this is the situation we find ourselves, which is why we need trusted friendships more than ever in these trying times.